Hey everyone, welcome back to M in the Stacks, and this week we are going to be talking about the books that I read for the first week of Becca's Bookopolathon. Again, you can find all information in my previous video, but we're going to get started, and we're going to start first with the things that had to go back, unfortunately, so I don't have them to show. The first one is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. I gave this one 5 stars. It was fantastic. It is about a girl, Xiomara, who is from a good Christian family who wants to become a poet, but has to hide all of that from her family. And she has this fantastic notebook, and the story is fantastic. And if you can, recommend it as an audiobook because it was so fantastic. The author just did such a great job because the author reads it. So it was fantastic to listen to it as the author wants it to be heard. So the right pacing and the right movement and the right all of that. So it was an easy 5 stars for me because it's just fantastic. And then I read the manga again. I have the next volume right here actually. The first 2 volumes of Again by Mitsuru Kubo. And this is a high schooler named Imamura, who it's at the end of the high school year. He's just about to graduate, and then things happen, and he goes back to the beginning of high school, and basically he has to start again from square one of his high school career, and he had a pretty bad high school career, and I think a lot of us can relate to that. But the one thing he wished happened more was the Oyuenden cheer squad. Not really like cheerleaders so much. It is a cheer squad, but there's way more standard movements and lots of shouting. And it's fantastic. Oyuenden in general, but the manga's done really well. Basically, he goes back in time with a girl who was very popular, who had a boyfriend, everything, and basically their lives just got flipped upside down. And so yeah, I gave the first and second volumes 5 stars, and I highly recommend giving this a chance if you are trying to get into manga. And the final thing I read, it was called Hot Gimmick. I'm not too familiar with it, but I gave it a chapter, and I basically just DNF'd it. I'll get into why in just a moment because this is a story I want you all to stick around for. But I DNF'd that. That wasn't for me. But the art style is good. I remember it from when I was way younger about how good it was, and people were talking about it. I know I've seen it a lot, but me reading it, wasn't for me. So, on to the stuff I do have here. And I've got this beautiful stack of books right here. Whoa! Okay. So, we are going to start from the top. A Man and His Cat by Yumi Sakurai. This is about a man and his cat. And this poor cat gets passed up for adoption over and over again. And this loving man adopts the cat, loves the cat, and it is the cutest thing ever. Because even though the cat is not traditionally adorable, the cat is adorable. Anyways, sorry, I am going to be looking at what I read. I believe I gave this 5 stars. If I did not give this 5 stars, I may because just talking about it now, I'm just like. So this is volume 1. It's very short. If you just need to get through something, this is it. Oh, right. The Poet X was to fulfill the prompt of reading an audiobook or an ebook. And I listened to it as an audiobook. So that was an easy one. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Where is this thing? Yep, I did give it 5 stars because I am a smart person. So yeah, highly recommend. Give it a shot. Oh, sorry, this one's in a bit of a mix-up because I'm preparing to take a lot of these back. Here we go. So this next one is Snow White with the red hair, and if you were following me at all during the 48-hour Bookopolathon, you know I read 4 volumes of Yona of the Dawn, also known as Akatsuki no Yona, which I'll be reading again soon, but I recommend you read it at all. If you like this one, if you have read this one, I recommend reading that one. So yeah, this is about a herbalist with beautiful red hair who is told to be is it the wife or the concubine? Does not say, but the Prince of Tanbaroon wants her all to himself, so Shiryuki. But she gets rescued by a handsome man named Zen. Anyways, so yeah, I gave most of these 4 stars. 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars. This got a 3 stars, and I'll explain why real fast. I'm not going to spoil it because I think it's good enough, and I think I want people to read it. But there was something that happened in this volume here that it took at least 22 to 23 volumes to get through into Yona of the Dawn, and I feel like it happened way too fast in here. But that's my opinion. I feel like I would have liked it to take a little bit more time. However, I am still going to be reading it. I'm going to be reading a whole bunch. I'm going to be reading the rest of it because I did really enjoy it. So, again, this is good. A little disappointed here, but we keep going on. That's how life works. We Have Always Been Here by Samra Habib. This was the winner of Canada Reads. I gave this 5 stars. I'll be straight up honest with you. I gave this 5 stars. I'm gonna keep remembering the line. We have always been here. The world is not ready for us yet. And it is about her story from moving from Pakistan to Canada and discovering herself. And we keep moving the book around. But yeah, this was powerful. I teared up. It has a happy end, but it is not a happy book until getting close to the end. And this was the rightful winner. I would give it 6 stars if I could. I recommend reading this. I recommend giving it a shot at least. So yeah, we've always been here. Samra Habib. I believe she reads the audiobook too. I believe she does. All right. We'll be saving this mess for a little bit later. Let's go on to something that was not as bad as the worst thing. As something else. Anyways, Space Dandy. The original story by Bones, artist Suwon Park and Ridice, and this adaptation was done by Masafumi Harada. So I gave this. Where did I put this? I know I rated it. 3 stars, 2 stars. So I'll just be frank with you. It felt very go stop, like building up the plots, and it was just going and stopping, going and stopping. And this one at the end had a really good plot. Like there was some really good stuff going on here about how the crew members of Dandy, Meow, and QT just did not respect each other. I'll go quickly into the synopsis of this. Basically, it's about an alien hunter named Dandy and his robot partner QT and a cat they find called Meow. And they're basically trying to make money by rescuing aliens. He's this charming, kind, good person. But man, it just did not go anywhere. It just kept stopping and starting, stopping and starting, and stopping and starting. And it just felt frustrating. It felt like I was going nowhere. So yeah. I do have the anime though, and I will watch the anime because I haven't found it. Might as well. But I won't be reading manga. Hopefully the anime is better. That's all I'll say to that. Oh, To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. Sorry. One thing before I go. If you watch my Bookopolathon, this was my short book. Originally it was supposed to be erotic stories for Punjabi widows, but this one had to go back, and it is really short. If you do need a short book to fill any kind of prompt, I do recommend this one. This is just great. And this one is the first in a series. I gave this one 4 stars. Let's be frank. You know what this is about. This is not new. This was up for YRCA in 2017. And what that means is published 3 years earlier. So this was published in 2014, which means you know what this is about. girl who writes love letters to people who she loved, but then wrote it to get over. And then the love letters go out, and things go downhill. This book was good until the end, and I don't like how the ending went. I don't know if it's still touchable, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But basically, yeah, at the ending, with the whole argument, I felt that whole party thing. Just gonna call it the party thing. Felt too contrived. Felt like it was all resolved kind of easily. I've heard the second book. I believe that I've heard the second book is worse, and then the third book is better. So I'm willing to give it a shot. But yeah, this I gave this 4 stars. It's enjoyable. I have the next one on hold. I will read that when that comes in. All right. So that's the end of that. Now we get into the good shit. Idle Dreams. I'm so glad I put the worst one on top. All right. We're going to go through the ranking right down because we need to talk about this because there's a lot to say. This got 4 stars. Sorry, I have it all up here. Don't worry. This also got 4 stars. Volume 2. I believe volume 3. Yep. 3 stars. 4 stars. By the way, this is the cover that made me pick this up, in case you were at all curious. Where is volume 5 on here? See, this is why I just need to write these down, in case you're wondering. Did I write volume 5? I did. Oh, good. 4 stars. 1 star. Let's get into this. Okay, so, if you did want to read this, if you were interested in Ariana Tanimura's work, read these 4, 5, stop. Just stop. Don't go any further than this. Just goes all downhill, and I will be spoiling it. So just prepare for that. We are going to get into this. So basically, it is about a 31-year-old woman whose life is gone kind of downhill. Basically, everything's gone wrong. Work sucks. She wants to die. So that's not funny. If you do have any serious thoughts about that, please talk to somebody. Or if you know somebody who is, please get help for them. But, so she runs into an old classmate who's like, oh, we've been working on this drug that can age you back a good number of years, for a small period of time. So she takes it. And then she runs into a group that needs a model, because their model quit on them in the last minute. And so, goes through the story of her becoming an idol. So, as I'm sure you guessed, these first 5 books, they were okay. I was getting into it. I kind of enjoyed it. The story was weird. The romances are batshit, but I prepared for batshit. When I started reading the first one, I was like, this is going to go batshit, and I was right. But I was not prepared for this, but I kind of was. So, it starts out simple. Volume 5 ends. One of the idols goes to the hospital. We learn that his sister has been sick. She passes away. Very hard. I was starting to like it. I was starting to get into it because it felt like, and then he started working again because, when you handle grief, I'm going to keep holding these because I'm very mad. When you handle grief, people handle grief in different ways. And he just goes back to work. And that's it. And that's great. I cannot even begin. Oh my god. I cannot begin to tell you why this is young. Okay, so they're taken care, things are going well. Okay, and then it's sort of like a love swear, basically. So you have the main character here. There's a boy there. It's not really a love square because it's more like a little triangle with a line off on the side, or maybe it's a weird shape. We're not even going to get into this, but basically, this is the person on the cover is the love interest slash girlfriend of one of the guys the the main girl likes. But she's a flirt. She goes on dates. She cheats, and I think it's in volume 5 where she basically gets told, you got to work it out with man and such, and she's the victim because the guy only cares about the main girl. As you know, the cliched crap. She's cheating. It's not good. There's almost no real good reason to cheat. I'm sorry. We're not going to get into that because that is a dangerous topic to touch, and we're not going to touch it. But anyways, so she's the victim. She goes back to the guy, all's forgiven. They're like, oh, let's get married, because of course they do. Of course they do, because they have to get married. And then guess what? Guess what happens? She learns she's pregnant. No, that was not at all predictable at all. And then we learned, by not surprise at all, that she was dating somebody else and doing things with that other person. And the baby is not the fiance's. Who could have guessed? And what do you do when you learn your baby does not belong to the person you're going to marry? Why, you don't tell anybody. Not a goddamn person. So, it's the wedding day. And people notice she's pregnant because, of course they do, because she is. So, what do you think happens? Do you think that she talks to her fiancé to fix the problem? Or do you think she runs away? Of course she runs away. Of course she does. Of course she does. And that's the end of the volume. And that was the end of my patience. I was done. I was straight up done. Thank God that was the last volume published so far, because if there was more, I would have just done that with the rest of them. I was done. I was over it. I was apoplectic about all of it. I was so mad because it was so cliched. I could have dealt with all the other bullshit. Let's be frank. The rest of that book series was crazy, but it was a crazy I could handle. That just pushed me over the edge. It was like, no, because that was predictable, but also completely surprising, and also it sucked so hard how it was handled. I felt like there was like too much time dedicated to that for like a side character, because you know what's gonna come back, and she's gonna talk to and they're going to decide that they're not right for each other. And then the main girl's going to have another love triangle. And oh my god. So that got 1 star. And I'm like 5% tempted to go back and give the rest 1 star. But the rest of the series is fine. Not great. Fine. I might lower my rank on those. Like, we'll knock it down a star because that last book got a star that it did not deserve. And it only got 1 star. So that was the end of my reading week. Now, I did read something on August 31st, The Daughter of the Blood. I gave that 5 stars because that was fantastic. But that was not part of the Bookopolathon. You may see it in best because of the end of the year if I remember to make the video. But what am I reading now for this week? Well, I'm going back to work because I couldn't for reasons. So, it's going to be a little bit limited. The one I'm reading right now, I'm reading The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski, which was my translated book. I have also The Orenda and Bleach waiting for me, because those are the rest of my books, and I like to do some more rolling. I also got a bunch of manga from the library. Oh my god, so much. So I'll be probably reading all of that at some point. I have Vampire Knight, D. Greyman, Beastars, that wonderful blue feeling, I believe it is, and the, oh geez. Can you see him now? The Clockwork. The Infernal Devices, graphic novel series. I have not read the City of Ash, Bones, Wishes, Dreams, Hopes, Failures, all of that. Cassandra Clare's world. But I do have those there. I've heard you can read them in kind of any order, and I do like a good graphic novel. So I'll be going in there. Anyways, thank you for staying by. Don't let people read trash manga. there are some good trash manga, and we will talk about those in a future video. But for today, this has been M of the Stacks. Thanks so much for sticking around. You can follow me on Twitter and Goodreads down below. I am working on other social media. But again, have a great day. Happy reading, happy writing, and happy living.